There are 5 things that we do or maybe don't do on the regular that have saved us thousands of dollars. Hi, I'm Hope.
And I'm Larry.
From Under the Median. On this channel, we take out all of the fluff and we give you practical frugality every single week. So tonight we are going to talk about things that we do that have saved us literally thousands of dollars. Let's get started. Number 1 is...
we try never to pay full price.
Never pay retail. My friend Timberly Gray says the 11th commandment really should be, thou shalt not pay retail. And I agree. Now listen, have you ever been on a website? You got stuff in your cart, you're checking out, you get to where you're ready to pay, and you think, I should have looked for coupon codes. And immediately you leave your stuff there in the cart, you go and you start searching wildly all over the internet, looking for, Googling the name of the merchant, coupon codes for the month and the year. And you spend 30 minutes literally looking everywhere for the best coupon codes. Well, my friend, there is a much, much easier way to do exactly the same thing. And that is Coopert. Coopert is the sponsor for this week's video. Coopert is a browser extension. It's free. It's so easy to download. Took me like less than 5 minutes to install it. Now, Coopert looks for all of the best coupon codes and has them all in one area. And then when you get ready to check out, Coopert automatically applies the coupons to your purchase to see if they have a coupon that is applicable to your purchase. Now, we use Coopert in Google Chrome, but it also works in a number of different formats. What else does it work in, Larry?
Well, it works in Firefox. It works in Internet Explorer. I think that's probably the most common browser there is. It works in Opera and also Safari if you happen to have a Mac computer.
Now, I'm going to show you exactly how Coopert works because I used it just today, guys. But before I do that, I want to tell you that there's a special link in the description of this video. You want to click on that link and you can download Coopert for yourself. And remember, it's absolutely free. I was online today doing early Christmas shopping and I used Coopert. So I wanted to show you guys exactly how easy it is to use Coopert. I went to Kohl's online and you'll see this C up here. This C is Coopert and it has turned orange, which means that I need to check and see exactly what Coopert is telling me it has available. Now they're offering cash back of up to 1.8%. Now it says my cash back is activated because I went here just a few minutes ago and the little bar came up and said, do you want to activate your cash back? And the answer is yes, I do. So that's activated. But you need to know if you navigate away from a site for a while and come back to it, you need to go ahead and click on this C for Coopert and make sure that that cashback is activated, because if you go away for a while and then come back, it may not be activated. You may need to reactivate it. Okay, so that's activated and we are going to go to the checkout here. Let's go to my checkout and we will see if I am able to save any money on my purchase. They're going to pull it up here. Okay, so we have a bunch of way cool things in here. Look at that. Christmas gifts galore. And a Coopert wants to know, do you want to apply coupons? Yes, I do. Now, when you push on that, it's going to automatically test all of the coupons that Coopert has available. It's going to test each one of those coupons one at a time. Now, because it's going to test them for you one at a time, you don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to try to find any other coupons. They have amassed them all for you in one space. But it does take just a couple more minutes to check out. Just get yourself a cup of tea or something, or a cup of coffee, while you're waiting for Coopert to test all of the coupon codes for you. So we're going to come back in just a sec. The total was $102. I'm going to remind you how much the total was, and we're going to see exactly what Coopert has saved me on my purchase from Kohl's. And there you are. With the coupon code SAVE24, Cooper saved me $16.20, and the total went from $102 all the way down to $86.59. And remember, in addition to that coupon code, there is cash back that has been activated. So I will receive cash back in my Cooper account in 24 to 72 hours.
So it looks like it's a lot easier to use Cooper as your browser extension than it is for you to try to go out and manually find all of those coupons for every item that you're looking for a good discount on.
They do all the work for you. Now, here are some other ways that we actually save money and try really hard not to pay full price for what we purchase. We also time when we're buying items. So we make sure that we're buying items so it's off season. So we're going to purchase items, for instance, right after major holidays. We're going to wait just 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 days at max until the prices for those items have bottomed out. We like to really look, we start looking seriously at about 75% off. When they go 50% off, we're like, maybe. When they get to 75% off, we start getting kind of interested. 90% off, we are there.
I love seeing those carts in the aisles that have a load of items that they're clearing out, and you see that big 75% off sign. It's like, yeah, we dive into those.
Do y'all do that? Do you, I would love to know. Tell us in the comments section, do you dig through like those big clearance carts? Because we do. We have absolutely no problem. Basically, we could pull up a chair for 30 minutes and dig all the way through the cart, because you can find some like really, really good things in those carts. The other thing that we do is that we buy off season. So we buy patio furniture. We got our patio furniture out back. We got it on clearance. I think it was 60% off maybe at Big Lots.
It was something like that. It was quite a bit off the original price.
And then we had a coupon to give us an additional 20% off of that. So coupon stacking, another great way to do it. A lot of stores, if something's on clearance and you have an extra percentage off coupon, they will still let you stack that right on top of the discounted price. What's the next thing we do that has saved us thousands of dollars?
Well, the next thing we do to save major money, and you will save a ton of money, we eat at home.
Now, the average family of 4. We're a family of 4 now. Used to be 6. The elder boys.
Wow. We're average.
We're average right now. We're so seldom average.
I've never been called average.
So we're a family of 4, not 6 any longer. And the average family of 4 spends $300 a month eating out. I was shocked, not because it was $300, but because I thought that was probably a pretty low figure.
Really?
I would have suspected that it was more than that. So when you actually multiply that out, that's $3,600 a year just eating out. So I'm going to, can I do one of my drum rolls? The drum roll is because I actually spend less than that per year actually feeding our entire family breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks 7 days a week. Our budget is $300 a month for food. That's just food. That doesn't include like personal care products, things like that. But I can tell you right now that I have not spent $300 a month. It's been less than that this year. I'm not going to reveal how much, because we have a program slated where we are going to reveal to you how much I actually spent on groceries this year. And I'm going to give you some major tips on how to save money on groceries. But for now, I will tell you, it is far less than $300 a month just on groceries for the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, and of course we pack lunches for work.
Absolutely.
And that saves a lot of money.
Do y'all do leftovers for lunch? We do it all the time. Tell us whether that's a thing for you. Some people are like, no, I can't do leftovers. And we're like, well, you would not survive very long around here, because we do leftovers a lot.
Well, I think it depends on their job. Now, where I work, I've got a microwave and a refrigerator. Mm-hmm. If you're an over-the-road driver, you may not be able to take leftovers, but you might be able to take sandwiches or anything you can put in a cooler and eat cold.
We actually have some people who watch regularly who are truck drivers, so we want to know from you guys. If you're a truck driver, or you like pack lunches for a truck driver, then we want to know, what do you pack? Because that's kind of tough. They do have like different, like little, they have these little units that will heat stuff now. that you
Oh,
plug them into your truck. Tell us about it, guys, because honestly, we don't have any breadth of knowledge in this, but I would love to know how you do that because that can be kind of challenging. The third thing that we do that has saved us literally thousands of dollars is
I would say we purchase most of our household furniture and furnishings this way, and that's to buy used.
we understand that buying retail is probably our last line of defense. Now, we have occasionally bought retail, but when we have, it's been on a really, really steep discount that we've actually bought retail and bought. We bought a couch and a chair that way. And
It was at a closeout
they
sale.
were they were going out of business, so I actually got a really, really good deal on the couch and chair. But
And they lasted us a long
like 20
time.
years. That
Yeah.
was that couch that I think you all were praying. Like in your nightly prayer time, part of it was, Lord Jesus, please let Hope find a new sofa because that old sofa was so bad. But it lasted 20 years. It lasted us. So it lasted us a really long time. We always begin the process before we buy anything of looking used. Now, part of the way that we do that is we actually do what we call forecasting. We sort of look at what we have and forecast in our mind how much longer we think it's probably going to last us. And we start saving at that point to replace those items. So we've always got like these mini pots of money that are waiting for when something, fails grandly, and then the money's there to pay for it.
And you know what's nice? In our area, we have a lot of different avenues for buying used. There's a lot of thrift stores where we live. There's estate sales, garage sales, and sometimes a whole neighborhood will have an event where they put stuff out to the curb and just let you take it. So, and there's of course Facebook Marketplace and a number of different avenues for doing this. So
my mother's town just did this true story. So I'm going over to see my mother and we're driving to get to her house, and every single person like in this neighborhood had these glorious things out to the curb.
Really?
It was like I was like rubbernecking, and I'm like, guys, grandma's expecting us. We got to get to grandma's house. And I'm like, Mom, holy cow. Her city does it. It's a citywide like day where twice a year, and only twice a year, can you put large items out to the curb. But people were out driving slowly around those neighborhoods in trucks and filling them up. This was nice stuff. I was like super excited to see this stuff. I didn't stop and get anything. I didn't have any room in the car, but it was kind of fun. It was really, what was fun to me was to see everybody it was like a grand old time. It was like a garage sale experience with no price tags.
yeah, it's there's some online websites. In fact, we belong to one of them where you post things and it's got to be free. So you post something you want to bless somebody else with, and in a way, that's what they're doing. They're just giving stuff away, putting out to the curb, letting anybody else come along and help themselves.
Do you guys have any free sites in your area that you're on? Because we are, and we've gotten some stuff off of the free site in our area. It's been really
And
fun.
we've contributed to it. We
Yes,
got rid
we
of a
have.
bookshelf that way. We picked up a crock pot off of that, a real nice one. So, it's kind of nice to have some avenues like that.
So buy used or get it free. Now, the other thing in the buy used category, this is sort of this is a tip I threw in there because I think it's just applicable. I think one of the things we always need to be aware of is sometimes there's stuff on our list that we'd really like to buy that when we honestly take some time and step back away from it, we find out we really don't need it. And I sort of got this tip. Several of you actually wrote in and said that you keep an ongoing list of items that you would like to get. And so every 30 days, you look at the list and say, do I really still want this? And if they don't want it, they just cross it off the list and then move forward. And I'm like, what a great idea. That's a 30-day waiting period. I don't think that's a bad idea.
No, it's not at all. That helps you exercise a little judgment and self-control.
All right, number 4. This is the fourth thing that we do or maybe don't do that has saved us thousands of dollars.
We don't subscribe to monthly product clubs. Do you remember those ads in the paper? They would be like maybe in a special leaflet where you would join a club, like the record of the month club. I think they offered 8 tracks. This goes way back, and so you buy into that, and every month they would send you one, and then you'd have to send it back to them if you didn't want it, or they would charge you for it. Man, that's a racket.
What was that? It was like Ronco Records or something, wasn't it?
I don't remember the brands, but they were in a publication in our local paper called The Parade.
That's right. All right. If anybody else remembers that, we want to know, because that was like the precursor to what you find on the internet.
Yep.
We used to have to look in the newspaper to find clubs to buy or clubs to join. But so, I mean, now it's so easy. And I think that's part of the reason that there's this prevalence exists. Have we done it? Yes, we have. When the boys were younger, the big thing was book clubs for kids.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember I subscribed to one, and the deal was you got a certain amount of free books, and then the contract stated you needed to buy within a year a certain number of books. And it was really hard for me because, I mean, most of the books were overpriced and over what I was willing to pay. And I really scrimped and saved, and I managed to fulfill the terms of the contract by the end of the contract. But I had to wait and bide my time until like I found a book that was on really deep clearance. And then I would buy that, and it would be one of my books that would contribute toward the 4 books I needed to buy. I never did again because it just drove me nuts. It was like this pressure all the time thinking, oh, I got to do this. I got to look every month when this thing comes in the mail that tells me what books are on sale this month. It was very frustrating for me to feel that. We've also done essential oils. We did essential oils for years where we were in a contract where we bought essential oils, like $50 of essential oils every single month. Well, guys, so I mean, we tell you these stories because we don't want you to feel bad if you've done it, because we've done it. Larry finally, it was $50 worth of oils, but that did not include shipping and handling. It didn't include tax. It didn't include any of that stuff. So you can imagine that $50 worth of oils every month quickly was like almost $70 a month. And that's if I could find oils that were exactly $50.
Yeah, I thought it was a racket myself.
Well, so he finally did the math. He was the one that had the clear sense of direction to get the calculator out. And he came to me with the calculator and just put it in front of my face and said, I want you to understand what this is that we're doing. I was like, oh my gosh. So that is like our major, if you got a takeaway from this program, this is it, guys. Do the math. Mm-hmm. This is how these things happen and how they roll into this thing of gigantic proportions in our budget that we never intended that for them to, because we're not looking at a yearly cost. We're only looking at the monthly fees. And that's what they want you to do. That's why they don't multiply it by 12, because they know. They said, look, you're going to buy $1,000 worth of oils in 1 year. You'd go, no, I don't think so. But if they say, hey, just $50 a month, and then they're not including tax or, shipping, handling, any of that stuff, you're going to spend close to $1,000 over an entire year.
You're bringing up the do the math point.
Yes.
Gives me a story.
Good. I love stories.
My brother got me onto this years ago. So I would go to the local dairy store that I later became an employee at, and I would buy these Brock's Starlight mints. Okay. So they were only, what were they? Maybe, let's say 20 cents a package back then. And I would buy them probably once a day. Once a day. Oh, I bought them a lot.
No, you bought... You bought them every day?
Bought every day.
Oh, holy cow.
Yeah. So I went home and told Don, this only cost me 20 cents. And he said, multiply that by 5. I only did it 5 times a week. So multiply that by 5. So there's $1. He says, now multiply that by 12. So there's $12. And so, once you multiply something that you do every day out over a year's span, then it becomes a huge amount of money that you think, well, maybe I can use that for something better. So he was the first one that got me into that kind of thinking. Don't just think about that latte that you buy on Monday for maybe $5. Multiply that out. What are you really paying for that in a year? That stopped me cold. I quit doing it. I quit buying sodas and quit buying some of that stuff because I would multiply it out and I went, my gosh, that's like $360. I can't do that.
Yeah. Now, the next thing is something that it's not really something that we do. It's something that we don't do. And this thing that we don't do has saved us thousands of dollars.
Well, we don't view frugality as deprivation.
When you have a mindset that says, I'm not going to do this, and you're feeling like you're depriving yourself, not just of that thing, whatever that thing is, but you're depriving yourself of joy in life, it becomes something that is completely untenable for you to continue over a month after month after month after month basis. We've said it a million times, and we're just going to say it again in case you've never heard us say it. That frugality is not about deprivation. It absolutely is not. Frugality is about deciding when, where, and how you will spend your money. That's all it is. You're choosing not to spend money on one thing because you are choosing down the line to spend your money on something else. Y'all know we are incredibly frugal, but do we ever drop some money?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I was just thinking, if you use a little, I would call it good old self-control, or just telling yourself no on a lot of little items, little items that just kind of chew away at your budget, then you're going to have some money for a big item that you really want.
I always think about, there's a Bible verse in Proverbs that says that the little foxes spoil the vines.
Yeah.
And it's those little things that will dig in there and start to eat away at your budget. So all of a sudden you feel like I'm spending a whole lot more than I ever intended to spend because I've allowed all of these little things to add up to something really, really big. So, and part of that is because you're viewing what you're doing as deprivation, and it is not. So that's our challenge for you this week. If you want a Hope and Larry Thrifty Thursday challenge, that's it. We challenge you to, first of all, find 5 things in your life that you are grateful for. Now, this doesn't have to be like physical items in your house. This can be being grateful for a really great partner that has stood beside you and watch you do crazy things for 34 years, okay? It could be really having a partner that works with you toward goals. That's something to be grateful and be thankful for. But find 5 things that you are thankful for so that you realize that there's a lot in your life that is bringing you joy. And I'm going to bet, tell us in the comments, that those 5 things usually will have nothing to do with money. Mm-hmm. Those are the things that we have done that have helped us to save thousands of dollars over the past 30 plus years of being frugal. Hey, we want to give one last shout out and one last thank you to the sponsor for this video, Cooper. And we want to remind you that there's a special link in the description of this program where you can go and you can download Cooper and you can put it on your browser as your browser extension of choice, and they will help you to save money at checkout by finding coupon codes and cashback opportunities for you. We will see you next week on the next Thrifty Thursday.